For millions around the world, this is the ultimate dream. A blue booklet, embossed in gold, the American passport. It's marketed as a golden ticket to freedom, to opportunity, to a life of respect and safety. But for countries like ours, for Bangladesh, this dream comes with a hidden and devastating price. Every year, thousands of our brightest minds, our most promising doctors, engineers, and innovators, board planes, not for a visit, but for good. They leave to chase a promise, and in their wake, they leave a silent void. What if this passport isn't just a symbol of hope, but also a silent, sophisticated tool of power, one that systematically drains the strength and future of nations like ours? The American dream is a powerful narrative. For a young Bangladeshi, it represents a world where merit is rewarded, where the streets are paved with opportunity, and where a single salary can lift an entire family out of uncertainty. It's the prayer on every parent's lips, "May my child get the visa." When it happens, it's a triumph, a badge of honor. The entire family feels they have finally made it. But behind the congratulatory posts and the smiling photos lies a deeper, unspoken reality. This migration isn't a random act of kindness from a generous nation. It is a calculated, century-old strategy that has fueled the engine of America's dominance. When we think of American power, we often picture its military might or the dominance of the US dollar, but the nation's most enduring strategic asset is far more subtle. It's a magnetic force, a soft power that operates quietly but with immense effect. This power isn't projected from a warship, it's broadcast from the hallowed halls of its universities, the innovative labs of Silicon Valley, and the promise of a life defined by opportunity, not origin. America's true strength lies in its unparalleled ability to attract and capture the world's best and brightest, turning global talent into a domestic advantage. This strategic acquisition of human capital is a well-oiled machine. A staggering percentage of PhDs in critical STEM fields working in the US are foreign-born. From India's software architects who build the backbone of Google, to China's top scientists pushing the boundaries of biotech, and Bangladesh's most skilled physicians who fill critical gaps in American hospitals, the US systematically siphons them off. They are welcomed, integrated into the economic fabric, and their talent is harnessed for American growth. This global talent migration, this calculated extraction of intellectual wealth, has a name: brain drain. But for the countries left behind, it's a profound loss. Brain drain isn't just an academic term, it's a story of immense sacrifice with a heartbreaking conclusion. It means a developing nation like Bangladesh invests its scarce resources, the love of a family that sells land for tuition, the sacrifices of a community that supports its brightest star, the precious public funds of a nation, all to educate one talented individual. They are nurtured with the hope that they will return to serve their own people. But all too often, the pull is too strong. They leave, and their skills are used to build another country's future. For every doctor America gains, a village in Bangladesh might lose its only qualified physician. It's a zero-sum game where the winner is already decided, and the consequences for the loser are devastating. So, what is the true cost of this silent exodus? It's a figure that can't be captured in economic reports. We don't just lose people, we lose the futures they would have built here. We lose the spark of their potential, the engine of their innovation. It's the loss of a doctor who could have pioneered a new rural healthcare model, an architect who might have designed sustainable housing for our cities. We lose the very hope that is meant to drive our nation forward, leaving a void felt in classrooms, clinics, and boardrooms across the country. Consider the tangible impact. Every doctor who leaves contributes to a staggering deficit. With a doctor-to-patient ratio already critically low outside the capital, their departure means a village remains without essential care. Every skilled engineer who departs is a bridge that takes longer to build, a power grid that remains unreliable. And what about the researchers, the brilliant minds who could be developing flood-resistant crops for our vulnerable coasts, or creating low-cost water purification systems? Their solutions are now applied to problems elsewhere, while our most pressing challenges go unsolved. And the loss deepens, echoing across generations. It becomes a cultural hemorrhage. Their children, born under a different flag, may learn a few words of Bengali, but will they feel the language's soul? The stories of our liberation war, the defiant poetry of Nazrul, the profound verses of Rabindranath, the communal joy of an Eid morning, these vibrant threads of our identity become flattened. They fade from lived experience into a vague family legend, told by grandparents over a pixelated video call, a story competing with a world that speaks a different language. As a nation, we invest everything. We raise our children with our love, we educate them with our collective dreams and scarce resources. We pour our hopes into them, seeing them as the architects of a better tomorrow. And in the end, their genius, their labor, and the legacy they build enriches another nation's society. The remittances they send back, while vital, can feel like a painful transaction, a fee paid for the export of our future. So, I ask you again, when we weigh the money against the minds, what have we truly gained? And for those who leave, the promised land often comes with an unspoken condition. You may earn rights, but will you ever earn true belonging? In America, you are often welcomed for your skills, but asked to quiet your identity. You are valued for your talent, but expected to assimilate your culture. To truly rise, many feel pressured to adopt a new set of values, to support political stances that may conflict with their core beliefs and faith. This isn't the freedom you were sold. This is a quiet, powerful assimilation. The price of the passport is often a piece of your soul. But this fate is not inevitable. Look at the nations that turned this tide. China and India once bled talent, just as we do. Their strategy was not to build walls, but to build bridges back home. They sent their students to the world's best institutions with a clear message. Go, learn, gain experience, but then return. Bring that knowledge home and build your own Silicon Valley, your own economic miracle. That is how China built itself into a superpower. That is how India became the world's back office. They inspired their children to build their own house, not just be a guest in someone else's. So, what is the answer to this quiet exodus, this hollowing out of our future? The solution isn't to build higher walls. That's a language of fear. The real answer is to open our minds and dare to write a new national story. We need a new Bangladeshi dream. A dream where our brightest minds, our engineers, artists, and doctors, don't see their future in an embassy queue, but in the bustling innovation hubs of Dhaka or the green tech farms of Sylhet. A Bangladesh where the ultimate ambition isn't to escape, but to create, to build, right here, on our own soil. This dream requires a foundation of radical change. We must demand a system where our universities are engines of discovery, partnering with global industries to solve real-world problems. Imagine research from BUET leading to patents that reshape global technology. We need a government that dismantles the bureaucracy and corruption that strangles talent. A government that champions meritocracy not as a slogan, but as state policy. And critically, we must forge an identity where our faith and our progress are not at odds, but walk together, in forming a uniquely Bangladeshi model of ethical development. We cannot force our children to stay, but we have a moral obligation to give them compelling reasons to return. We must build a Bangladesh that doesn't just ask them to come back, but irresistibly calls them home. For generations, a foreign passport has been seen as the ultimate prize, but this pursuit comes at a cost, a sense of being a perpetual guest in someone else's story. True dignity, true sovereign power, is not found in a foreign document. It's the profound confidence that comes when you don't feel the need to run from your own home. It's the security of knowing your children will have clean air, good schools, and a future filled with opportunity right where they belong. So, the defining question for our generation must fundamentally shift. It can no longer be the tired, individualistic plea, how can I get an American passport? The new question is bolder, more creative, and profoundly communal. It is a question of legacy. How can I help build a Bangladesh that my children will be proud of? A Bangladesh that the world looks to not for cheap labor, but for brilliant ideas. A Bangladesh that others dream of coming to.